Good morning, everyone. Welcome. My name is Menachem Creditor. It's my honor to serve as scholar in residence and rabbi for UJA Federation of New York. We bring you Torah and music, blessing, and community every weekday. We've been doing so since March 18th, 2020. Today it is Thursday, April 16th, 2026. 2 days short of 6 years and a month since we came together for the very first time to learn together. Phil, nice to see you, my friend. It's been a while. Deborah and Adele, Susie, good to see you. Jonathan and Penny, thank you. It's broadcast 1528. Safta Stieber, so nice to see you. Tara, and on Facebook, Barry and Linda, Shari, Dave, and Richard. Welcome, friends. For those who aren't familiar with what Romper Room used to be, you ever? I hope you should look it up. It's interesting. But whenever we begin and I say, "Look at who's here," and I say good morning, it's a little bit like the beginning of Romper Room for all of us, right? Phil sending love to LA. Hope we get to see each other soon. Judy and Richard, Arlene and Debbie, George, Peter sending love to you in Frankfurt. Good afternoon to you. Cecile and Jack, Rosa sending love to you in Malta, Lydia and Marcia, Dale, Boker Tov, friends. Good to see all of you. Let's take a breath. We're going to sing a bracha, learn a little bit of Torah. Hi, Barbara. Nice to see you. Hi, Lydia. Hi, Ashley. Hi, Cheryl. John, nice to see you. Hi, Ron. Ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ay ya la la la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'zivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah, la'asok b'divrei Torah, hafok ba v'hafok ba, la'asok b'divrei Torah. Today I today I All right, everybody. It's good to see all of you. Chana sending you refuah shlema. I hope you feel better. Sending love to you in Jerusalem. Kim, so good to see you. Everybody, want to see a great show? Go see Catch Me If You Can in White Plains at the Performing Arts Center, where Kim's son is in the cast. I hope to catch it myself. And Ima, nice to see you. I love you. All right, everybody, let's jump in. Let's learn a little bit of Torah. This week, we are reading a double Torah portion, a very strange one, Tazria, Metzora. It is about a skin ailment that has often been mistranslated and misunderstood as leprosy. It's certainly not that. The Torah, first of all, is describing a spiritual condition, not what we would today consider a medical one. Because after all, if you think that you have tzara'at, this skin ailment, which can appear on your skin, on your clothes, or on the wall of your home, you call the priest. The priest will, quote, diagnose the issue, but the way out of it is a spiritual process, a 7-day quarantine outside of the camp. And yes, that sounds like contagion in the way that we think about it. But the rabbis, after the Torah is completed, interpret this word, Metzora, someone who has tzara'at, who has the ailment. Metzora, just hear the word, sounds like motzi shem ra, someone who brings out a bad name, who speaks evil about someone else. And so not only is this a spiritual ailment in the biblical context, the rabbis expand that to mean a moral blemish caused by speaking ill of someone else. They say just as we're supposed to be mindful about what we put in our mouths, we should be mindful about what emerges from them. That is a very important thing for us to consider. How we speak. Do we speak positively? Do we speak negatively? And what is the impact of words? I was blessed last night to join many friends from UJA, including Stan and Diane, who are here, and perhaps others from the UJA family, to go see John Lithgow on Broadway in a play about Roald Dahl. The play is called Giant. And it was a fierce performance, beautifully done, so artistic. It has won awards both in its original production in the UK and also now on Broadway, and you can see why. The character of Roald Dahl is incredibly complicated, but what was clear was the power of his words. The play centers on his anti-Semitism and his expressing it, and does a good job of texturing the character because he did not lead an easy life, nor was he an easy person. And this is so important for us to consider because the power of words is enormous. And the play constructs a character who was representative of literary agents and the response in the world to Roald Dahl's, I was going to say John Lithgow, he was that convincing, to Roald Dahl's anti-Semitic screeds. And what was powerful about it is that there were two major moments of hate-filled ranting from Roald Dahl's character. And it turns out, we learned in the talkback after the show, it turns out that those were verbatim on-the-record interviews that he gave. What sounds here and there during the play like a back and forthing, a humanizing, is actually the play's treatment of someone who is an unrepentant anti-Semite. Now, in the context of the literary world then, he wasn't the only one, nor was he, let me say it differently, nor was he. He also was a misogynist and a racist. And these things similarly were much more common in the world then, though the language continues, unfortunately, to be resurgent even today. In the worlds of blogs and podcasts and online writing, it is clear that this is not something we are done with. The play makes you think about such things. And here we are in this week's Torah portion, thinking again about the power of words. In a certain sense, the Torah, while the Torah doesn't make this about speaking evil or speaking gossip, the rabbis basically say that what comes out through your mouth will come out through your skin. And that is important for us to think about too, because often someone can pass as a giant, when actually within themselves there is enormous, enormous darkness. One of the cast members, two-time Olivier winner, Elliot Levy, who plays just superbly as a cast member, as a Jewish cast member who portrays a Jewish person, he said that Roald Dahl was such a genius that the hate that was within him, he was smart enough to not place in his art. I think that jury is out. Puffin Books, upon Roald Dahl's death, controversially rewrote much of the story, including the way that the Oompa Loompas in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory were originally pygmies who were imported from Africa in crates with holes and kept in the factory, never to leave. Even the earlier editorial process made him change that, but that he was willing to start there tells you everything you need to know. And the way that the witches, which is the story in the play, the story that he wrote, which is the focus of the play, depict both women and stereotypical Jewish features, tells you that the words matter. And this is something for us to consider, because things do manifest beyond the body. Once words leave, there's no bringing them back. There's a very famous story of a person who spread rumors about a rabbi because he saw the rabbi go to the store and the rabbi picked up an apple and then she left. This person saw that happen. The person said, "Did you see the rabbi when she went in the store? She took the apple and I didn't see her pay." And the story started to spread until people were convinced that the rabbi was an unrepentant thief. Eventually, the rabbi lost her job. And the person who spread the rumor realized what had happened, never wanting that consequence, never intending that consequence. So he goes to the rabbi to beg forgiveness, and the rabbi says, "I'll grant you forgiveness." But then she says to him, "In order for you to receive my forgiveness, I need you to go take a feather pillow, go to the beach, open up the feather pillow and shake it." He does that. Anything for forgiveness. He goes to the rabbi afterwards and says, "I've done as you asked. Do you forgive me?" She said, "I will. You just need to do one more thing. Go and gather the feathers from the wind." Which is a way of saying words matter, and they can hurt and have real consequence, and there is no taking them back once they leave our mouths. I'm grateful that this play was made. The producers, the directors, the writers, the actors, they are involved in a provocative and very important process, which is to tell the world that words matter and hate manifests and leads to violence. We know that from everything we see around us. So much of the play could have literally been written this morning. And the actor, Elliot Levy, who shared in a talkback with us his own personal story, his own Jewish journey about the community back in England, shared that the night before, Erev Yom HaShoah, his shul in England was firebombed. The coverage wasn't immediate, nor did it label it a terrorist act at first. He said, but we're not surprised by it. Someone then asked him, what's the big difference, would you say, between the audiences you have in England and the audience you have here? And he hadn't been playing in New York for that long. He said, I'm only beginning to understand American Jews, but the audience here is very different than it is in England. He said, you laugh at different things. You're confident enough to respond in the way that you do. In England, that wasn't the case. He says, if you in any way lose your confidence as Jews in America, we're done. And if we say that words matter, even if we would contest the extreme of that statement, we know that it comes from a place of emotional truth for an invested Jewish artist from England performing in the United States, depicting a Jew in a context that is violently anti-Semitic, and those were the words he chose. Those words matter too. May we be blessed to hold ourselves accountable. May we be blessed to hold others accountable. May we make sure that the words that come out from us are worthy. May we never shrink from sharing them in response to something that is not. Let's send our hearts to the east, friends, and sing. Kol hol balevav penima nefesh Yehudi homia ulefatei mizrach kadima ayin letzion Sophia od lo avda tikvatenu התקווה בת שנות 2000 להיות עם חופשי בארצנו ארץ ציון וירושלים להיות עם חופשי בארצנו Eretz Zion v'Yerushalayim. Am Yisrael Chai. See you tomorrow.